All right, you join me on the morning of day 5, which today is probably going to be Horde base building. I have... Okay, the 200 cobblestone that I was crafting is done. Probably not going to cut a whole lot out of this one because I do want to document the Horde base. Outside of when we're going to be fighting it, I should probably eat my fill. Though we are very quickly outpacing the sorts of early game food that you can get, which is fine. That happens. Just means I guess I need to start focusing a little bit more on farming. Get the stews pumping out. A little bit more earlier on than I would been thinking. I think I want to build the Horde base over in that field there. I did also briefly consider just building it in a already existing POI. But I don't really like doing that all that much. I guess I could put it over there, but I don't want the land claim to poke into Navezgane High. I do want to have that as a POI we can do. And I think if I built in this lot here and put a land claim in it, it probably would poke into the corner of the Navezgane High, which would mean we couldn't have that as a questable location. Which wouldn't be great. So I'm thinking over here, now, the type of base I am going to be building, a person could, especially with the new turret type, or turret type in the game, this could be actually just fully automated once you reach a late enough stage in the game. Simply because it's not anything too complicated. Which you will see what I mean by that. So that means there, skip a block. Alright. I'm doing this carefully because there is no worst feeling in the world than having to mine one of these blocks. Did that put us into the Iron Age? Indeed it did. And we are thirsty. Good news is the trader's just right over here. So I'm going to go take care of our thirst problem and I'll be right back. Alright, thirst needs are met for now. Looks like hunger is going to be a problem in the very near future. So, yeah, we'll take care of that when we get to it, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's very, very important to keep track of how high up this goes. I'm pretty sure this is symmetrical. 2 more. Good. One thing you definitely, I don't want to, I might actually unbind the chat key. I typically do that. That way it prevents it from popping up at random. No, don't drop them. Sort them. Seven blocks tall is typically the gold standard. Now, if you want to have something to where you can counter the destroy area mode mechanic, you need to go a lot higher. I think it's like... Sweet spot is somewhere between 11 and 14 blocks. I know that. But I'm not going for a cheese base. The thought's there. It's kind of tempting, but I'd rather not, because you never know when that's going to get patched. And for the sake of this Let's Play, I don't want to do something that, one, is kind of cheap, and two, could get patched out in any update. So, yeah, I'm just gonna build the standard killing corridor. I believe what it's... Most people refer to it as. I call it the shooting range. And you're going to find out very quickly why I call it that. It's a very simple base that pretty much anyone can build. I think I might actually go for the actual simple version of it as well. Now, this is very important. The easiest way to do this is on face, rotate 3 times, and then you're good. Zombies can path over this. If you close it, they cannot anymore. The point of this type of system is so that you can have multiple fighting positions, and say once this is built, this gets compromised, and they can no longer path up. You close this door and then move on to the next one. But since this is going to be our only fighting position for this Horde, hopefully it doesn't get compromised. And I mean, it shouldn't. It's only the Day 7 Horde. There's no possible reason this should get compromised. All right, I think I'm going to use the full block shape for now. A person can do this with poles, and I might actually just run poles in between these. That way it gives them something to be bottlenecked by. Which, bottlenecking your zombies is not typically a bad thing. Do want to block about halfway down so when I drop down I don't break my leg. Because I've done that more than a few times, and in fact I think I did that when I was building the base that I was going to turn into a Horde base on the 1.0 multiplayer Let's Play. If I remember right, I did fall off the structure and break my leg. Once very early on in building it. If not, it was a sprain. But I'm pretty sure it was a break. I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen that footage. By that I mean about 2 years. Hey, there's my upgraded cobblestone. So there is one thing I did make a little bit of a mistake of, and that is I do want there to be a door back here. And I'm not going to do anything in there right now. Rotate, please. I'm not going to do anything in there right now. I want to get the top of this finished. Now, for in here, I'd like to use bars. That way I can look down and see if there's anything below me. Which, they changed something a while back. And I'm not... And by a while back, I mean, like... They did something before in 2.0. That made the zombie AI just, even if they have a valid way to get to you, they sometimes just don't and randomly start attacking your base. I'm not sure why that's the case now, but it is quite annoying. And a lot of the time, instead of walking around, they'll just kind of tunnel through. Which is one of the reasons why I don't like having this... I could just have this standing on, say, 4 pillars. I don't like doing that, precisely because the zombies' tendency to just randomly smack on things they shouldn't. And this isn't a... destroy area mode thing, because they haven't been dropped. They will have a valid path to me. They just choose to tunnel through instead of walking around. So hopefully in day 7, during the day 7 Horde, I have a way to showcase that, because it is definitely something to watch out for. Nice, and now we have this nice platform that we can work with. Definitely want stairs, and I do stairs and ladders. Because for whatever reason, this has been a thing that's happened a few times. Also, that I noticed, and I can't remember if I first noticed it in 2.0 or first noticed it in 1.0. I think it first started happening in 2.0, like the zombies randomly beating on stuff. But I noticed in 2.0 that for whatever reason, some zombies will just randomly stop on the stairs, like right here, and take out a few of the stair blocks. And basically make it to where the stairs are unusable. Which is really bad, because if they don't have a path towards where you're at, they just start going ham on everything. Including what's supporting you where you're standing on your platform. Which I don't necessarily think I need to explain why that's not the best thing in the world. Because this game does have physics. So if I just do this and then take care of that block there, stuff does collapse. So basically they'll do one of two things. They'll try to staircase up or they will try to collapse the platform. Neither of which is desirable for you. So this is just a little insurance to try and prevent that. And hopefully it works. There's always the chance it doesn't, but that's, well, we don't talk about that. We just have a Mega Crush in our inventory so we can bail if things get really bad. But it's only the day 7 Horde, so things should be pretty tame. For the most part. And it does appear that we're out of cobblestone. So we do have a majority of the base done. So I'm going to pop over, get some cobblestone, and get back to base building. Now, where did I leave my mini bike? Now, wouldn't it just be funny if I didn't bring it with me? Where is my mini bike? There it is. It'd be even more funny if I left it at Trader Rect. Nope, it's there. So, I'll catch you guys once I'm back with my cobble. Alright, back with the cobblestone. And what I was talking about earlier was, if I do something a little bit like this, it kind of bottlenecks them on how many there can be going through here at once. Which there is like a pole center T that you could do for having these here as well. But just for the sake of simplicity for anyone wanting to follow along with this build, I did not do it. Trying to stick with basic stuff. For anyone who may be looking for a simple horde-based build. And also, the same principles could be applied here if a person was to take over like a house that has a second floor and just fortify the area next to where you'd be fighting and put one of these walkways up. That would also work too. In fact, I could have done that here, I just chose not to. I prefer building the whole base as its own thing. That way I know what it can withstand, because I've used it so many times. And I have a lot more control over just doing it this way. Granted, it's a little bit more time consuming and a little bit more resource heavy, but you have the security of knowing that it will hold up. Which is really what I'm going for. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could have just picked a POI that has cobblestone walls and just stood on the roof all night and waited out the horde. But I would much rather actually try and fight it. So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put these in. And the block I use down here, I don't just use the scaffolding ladder on its own. That is a very, very, very poor idea. And this is the scaffolding ladder, correct? Yes. I do this because you can hit through them. Now, if you just do this, the zombies can pile up on the other side and crawl straight through. Which I don't think that needs any explanation on to why that's a very not good thing. You can also reach through it and activate the door, which is a very important consideration because you're going to want to cut that off fast if this side becomes unusable. And you have to move to another position. Now, we're not going to have another position for the Day 7 Horde. I don't anticipate it being rough enough for us to need one. But I would like to get one set up. I don't think we'll need it for Day 14, but I'd like to get a redundant position set up for Day 14, just to err on the side of safety. Being cautious in that manner's never hurt. Man, the nail gun will serve me well. Whenever I actually unlock it. Now, some of what I'm doing here is trial and error. Some of it is things I've seen other people do that work out quite well. I'm trying to stick to basic shapes. This shape will work because you can also punch through it and open doors through it. I'm not terribly certain if zombies can crawl through it or not, but there is another block that you can put on the outside that works oodles better. And I'm trying to remember what it was. I know it was a pillar block. No, it wasn't those. I think it has to be these? I think it's these. Let me check. Can I hit through these? Yes. Oh, I did not want to upgrade that to concrete. I only have so much, and I really only want the outer fighting position to be concrete. Okay, so next, what you're gonna want to grab is the ramp. I just do on face. And this is so that they just can't pile up here and stand on top of that and then get on top, or worse, start beating through the top. I've had that happen before when I've done something is I've had them get on top and start beating through the ceiling, which is very not optimal. That only happened once, and I was using a mod pack that had guppy zombies in it. Great mod. I'm not sure if it's updated yet. Very good mod. I basically like any mod that adds in more zombie variations, because I've played this game so much that I've really gotten tired of the lack of variety. Now this can just be wood. It doesn't need to be anything special. But since the door is back there, this is the definitive back of the base. I'll never put a fighting position here. We shouldn't need more than 3. Ever. We should not need more than 3. Things will have to go really south if if we ever need more than 3 fighting positions. And as for the roof, I'm just going to do wood since it is going to be the first horde. It's not like we're going to have vultures vultures that spit acid or anything. But the good news is about doing this, the good thing about doing this early is, one, it nets you a ton of XP, which is always a bonus. Well, most of the time. But focusing on getting this done early means that you have basically every day that you're not having to work on the Horde base before day 7 free to go do quests, basically whatever you need to do. I might even just leave... No. I'll upgrade at least the first few on the front to wood. And then I'll place our ladder in back here. Give me simple rotation. And swap this back over to blocks. Right, so what I like to do here is I like to just have this as flat. You can continue the upside down ramp out. I typically don't do that because it's not really necessary. This is just here to prevent them from piling up and being able to sneak onto your roof. And this is where your spikes come in, because if you place these up here, you could also just have this be bars like I did with the floor in there so I could see down under me. You could just have these be bars so you could take care of the vultures as they appear with your gun. But if you do spikes, you could even do bars and then have spikes on top. But if you just do spikes, the spikes will take care of the vultures as they appear on their own. So either method works. I'm just using a different method than the bar strat. I don't like using bars because if it happens to rain on Horde Night, which I don't know if it can, but you'd be... Actually, I think it can. But you'd be standing out in the elements taking not environmental damage, but you'd be getting cold and all that good stuff, so I just sawed roof. But yeah, with that done, this place is basically complete. Like I said, I am going to upgrade this all to be concrete. Because I did another oopsie. There's no good reason to not have this concrete. Now, there are 2 ways you can do what I'm about to do. You can... This is a chute for you to throw pipe bombs and stuff in. You can have a ramp, or if you come up here and just click off that, you can type in arrow slit and use the arrow slit half ramp, which is great for throwing pipe bombs and regular grenades down. Now, obviously, do not try this with contact grenades, as those blow up on contract, as their name would suggest. Another thing I like to do here, it's not necessary, but it is just nice, is I like to have trapdoors here. That way you can throw some Molotovs out. Because you can also huck Molotovs through that. It's just kind of risky business doing that. Because if it hits that and it explodes up here, then you're just on fire. And that's not a good time. Yeah, it's basically our Horde base here done. This little box will take us pretty much into the end game. Because this is something that you can modify over time. Like if I wanted to, I could have a blade trap there, and at the top of the ladder. At the same time, I can also place turrets up here and have them shooting or facing down there and shooting. Actually, this is perfect. Yeah, there, you're figuring it out. So this will basically be how Horde Night's gonna go. Except larger quantities of zombies. And they'll be moving much faster because it'll be basically sprint speed. But this Wandering Horde's a perfect simulation to see if the base is going to work. For whatever reason, he was disgruntled and just punching random stuff. So it's not even just on Horde Night that they do that, it's just all the time. Which I'm not a massive fan that they do that. Okay, so I was expecting them to decided to punch the door, but apparently not. I don't know why we're... Zombies just do the most random things sometimes, and it... Oh, they took out the block above the door? Why? Why would they do that? There's no reason for them to do that. I guess it's good to know that that could happen. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave a decent... I'm just gonna leave all my stuff over here, because let's face it, this will probably be the only place I'm going to be needing it. But yeah, that's how it looks from the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and just have a screenshot of it. Is this even worth picking up? Because we've already unlocked Iron Tier stuff. Well, those are definitely worth it. Dew Collector. I can have something that automatically fills my jars for me while I'm away from home. Whoopee! Yeah, still not gonna craft it. I would rather fill them myself. But that's just me. Some people may see the benefit in it. I personally don't, so I'm not gonna be using it. Can't resist the free XP. Plus, if he's just chilling out here around my house, there's a very good chance he detects me in there, so I'd just rather not have that as a possibility. You know, better safe than sorry and all that. Oh, I also didn't notice the 800 or 800. Is there just like a chicken in my house? No, but there was one chilling in my backyard. I don't know why. First it was the deer and now it was this chicken. Speaking of deer. Well, we eating good. It's a shame that steak's gonna do so little for us now that we've leveled up quite a bit. But that's just the name of the game, I suppose. Another happy customer? Yeah, I suppose I'll call it here and catch you guys all in the next one. It's been pretty eventful. We got the base done. Now we just gotta wait for the opportunity to use the thing. Which that should be coming up within 2 more days. And knock on wood, it doesn't collapse. It shouldn't. I've used this design more than once. Of course, I augment it pretty much every time I do something a little bit different. Mainly been trying to figure out a better way to have the catwalk. But that's primarily the only thing I've changed throughout the different iterations is the catwalk. I've used different shapes. Trying to find something that works better than what I've already got, but I think the basic setup that I just did is probably the best. I'm probably not going to find anything that works better than that, so it might genuinely just be time to stop and just stick with what I got. I don't know. Anyway, if you like the video, make sure to like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. If you have anything you'd like to see, let me know. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Whew, 84 minutes. Oh, God. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.